Today our topic is what makes a good life. Wisdom from Philosophers. For thousands of years, people have asked this question. What is a good life? Is it money, success, or fame? Or is it something deeper, like happiness, peace, or love? Philosophers from different times and places have thought about this, and their ideas can help us understand what truly makes life good. Let's explore their wisdom and see how it can guide us. First, let's talk about Socrates, an ancient Greek philosopher. Socrates believed that the most important thing in life is to know yourself. He said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This means that if you don't think about your life, your choices, and your actions, you are not really living. A good life, according to Socrates, is one where you ask questions, seek truth, and try to understand yourself and the world around you. He taught that wisdom is not about knowing everything, but about being aware of what you don't know. This humility, this willingness to learn, is what makes life meaningful. So if you want a good life, start by asking yourself questions. Why do I do what I do? What do I truly value? What kind of person do I want to be? By reflecting on these questions, you can live a life that is true to yourself. Next, let's look at the Stoics, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics believed that a good life is not about what happens to you, but about how you respond to it. They said that we cannot control everything in life, but we can control our thoughts and actions. For example, if someone insults you, you cannot control their words, but you can control how you react. You can choose to stay calm and not let their words hurt you. The Stoics taught that the key to a good life is to focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. They also believed in living with virtue, which means being honest, kind, brave, and wise. A good life, according to the Stoics, is one where you live with integrity and face challenges with courage. So, if you want a good life, practice Stoicism. When something bad happens, don't complain or blame others. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger? By doing this, you can find peace and strength even in difficult times. Now let's talk about Aristotle, another great philosopher. Aristotle believed that a good life is a life of balance. He called this the golden mean. This means that you should avoid extremes and find the middle path. For example, courage is the balance between being too afraid and being too reckless. Generosity is the balance between being stingy and being wasteful. Aristotle said that a good life is one where you develop good habits and live in harmony with others. He also believed that happiness, or eudaimonia, is the goal of life. But this happiness is not just about feeling good. It's about living well. It's about using your talents, helping others, and being part of a community. So, if you want a good life, follow Aristotle's advice. Find balance in everything you do. Be kind, but not a pushover. Be brave, but not foolish. And remember that true happiness comes from living a life of purpose and connection. Another philosopher who has much to teach us is the Buddha. The Buddha taught that suffering is a part of life, but we can find peace by letting go of our desires. He said that the root of suffering is attachment. When we want things to be a certain way, we create stress and disappointment. For example, if you want to be rich and you don't become rich, you feel unhappy. But if you let go of this desire, you can find contentment. The Buddha also taught the importance of compassion. He said that we should care for others and try to reduce their suffering. A good life, according to the Buddha, is one where you live with mindfulness, kindness, and acceptance. So, if you want a good life, pay attention to the present moment without judgment. Let go of things you cannot control, and treat others with love and respect. Let's also talk about modern philosophers like Viktor Frankl. Frankl was a Holocaust survivor who wrote a famous book called Man's Search for Meaning. In this book, he said that the most important thing in life is to find meaning. Even in the worst situations, like being in a concentration camp, Frankl found meaning by helping others and holding on to hope. He believed that life is not about what happens to us, but about how we respond to it. He said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing. The last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. So, if you want a good life, find your purpose. Ask yourself, what gives my life meaning? What can I contribute to the world?" By finding your purpose, you can face any challenge with strength and hope. Now, let's think about what all these philosophers have in common. They all agree that a good life is not about external things like money or fame. It's about inner qualities like wisdom, courage, kindness, and purpose. They also agree that a good life is not easy. It requires effort, reflection, and growth. You have to face challenges, learn from your mistakes, and keep striving to be better. But the reward is worth it. A good life is one where you feel at peace with yourself, connected to others, and aligned with your values. So, how can you apply this wisdom to your own life? Here are some practical steps. First, take time to reflect. Ask yourself the big questions. What do I value? What kind of person do I want to be? What gives my life meaning? Second, practice mindfulness. Pay attention to the present moment and let go of things you cannot control. Third, live with virtue. Be honest, kind, brave, and wise in everything you do. Fourth, find balance. Avoid extremes and take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Fifth, help others. A good life is not just about you. It's about making the world a better place. Finally, never stop learning. Read books, talk to people, and be open to new ideas. The more you learn, the more you grow. In conclusion, a good life is not about having everything you want. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about living with wisdom, courage, kindness, and purpose. The philosophers we talked about today: Socrates, the Stoics, Aristotle, the Buddha, and Viktor Frankl have different ideas, but they all point to the same truth. A good life is a life well lived. So, take their wisdom to heart. Reflect on your life, face your challenges with courage, and strive to live with virtue and purpose. By doing this, you can create a life that is not only good, but also meaningful and fulfilling. And remember, the journey to a good life is not a straight path. There will be ups and downs, but every step you take brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be. So, keep going, keep growing, and keep living with intention. That is the key to a good life.